Document analysis is pretty much what most of us start to do, right? For example, if you've got some kind of document, reference manuals, going through the documents, trying to understand what is already done, what has been done, what is not done, what is a gap, how can we fill that, all those things, right? So use completed forms, documents, reports. Uh, so you're actually trying to look at how people would actually use this product or the features or the manuals, the setup manuals, the user manuals, the reference guides. All of those would help actually to get an idea in terms of what the features are. There's only one flip side to this, is obviously these are all good, but the problem is sometimes, or most of the times, you create the setup manuals, this beautiful user guides and everything, but they don't get updated as much as the product gets updated. So features change. So you actually add so many features, you change the way it works, change the way it looks. You perhaps even change the flow of a particular product feature, how you get to that. Everything changes in a span of a few months or a few years. Unfortunately, you don't give as much attention to changing the documents and things because they're secondary. And obviously people don't attach so much importance to the documents because they're supporting, they're not the actual product. So after about 4, 5, 6 years, when you actually see a product, you would end up with a completely different different set of features, different functionality, perhaps even different target market, different idea that it's serving. But when you look at the documents and after that they get passed on to this, and then you say you're a new BA, for example, you got to this, you joined the company, and then the team actually gave you this whole bunch of documents, say, okay, go through this, it will give you a good idea about what this product does. You start looking at it, it makes no sense at all. It's totally different from what it was originally meant to deliver or work on initially as per the document. So you need to to make sure that you understand that, and the stakeholders need to also understand that that kind of a gap. There's a bit of a challenge on that one. It's not really maintained and updated on a frequent basis, which is a bit of a challenge. But other things, obviously, it would help with collecting the actual data on the ground, because sometimes these documents also would be the ones that you would ask people to write up or look at the diaries. For example, I was talking about the SPR, the special purpose records. Those would give you rich insights into how people use and what kind of habits they have, what kind of workflows they have on a day-to-day basis. So you can get more and more, again, context-rich data. That leads us to the special purpose records. So these are the ones that people would actually kind of do. So record simple data on the job by the workers, by the people who actually do the task or work themselves. So create tangible artifacts. So for example, you're a runner yourself, so athletes would typically be asked to log their food diary, log their activity diary, log their activities. So they and what kind of if they're consuming any other kind of medicines or anything, they need to actually record and log it, so that it would be used for the for seeing if there are any prohibitive substances, that the substance intake and things like that, which they would have done without knowing. So that's also possible. That's why all these diaries would really help to understand where what happened, right? What happened, what went into the person's body, even without their knowledge, or with the knowledge. That's a different thing. So we can get to understand what is it that they're doing as a habit, how many miles have you run today versus yesterday. So all these applications, automatic applications of tracking the fitness applications like Strava, Fitbit, the Android and the Apple phones, they start giving that anyway, right? So it tells you how many liters of water you've taken, how many miles have you run or walked, how many footsteps, how many steps have you, the step count, and then how many floors have you actually gone up and down, depending on the stairs that you have actually taken that day. So all of these data that would automatically collect, but then at least that will give you kind of an idea in terms of how you're using the data to either for your own purpose or for somebody else's. Need to be used in conjunction with others to get the complete picture. It cannot be just done on its own. So you need to actually complement the data that you get from the special purpose records with other techniques. Then that would actually give you the big picture, the real complete picture in terms of how you can use this data more effectively.